From one postseason to the next, we leave the NHL and the NBA playoffs behind. We move on to the MLB. Carl Coulage for the Sports Hit List, by the fans, for the fans. Postseason in October. Let me introduce Chuck. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. I'm hyped because the Islanders, they broke my heart, but now it's Yankee baseball time.
TK the Tank, Tom Kenny. He's not talking football. He's not talking pro wrestling, but he is talking baseball. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Get ready for more heartaches. The Indians are going to be a tough matchup.
And we have Declan back again. He's not talking football, but he is talking baseball. Deck, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me on such short notice, I guess.
Thanks for filling. This is the world of the Sports Hit List. People just have to be alert and ready. And these guys will tell you, I'll contact them last minute. Could you hop on and you're available? You get the call. Here you are. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate the last minute filling pinch hitting.
Yeah, really. This is some Kirk Gibson in the World Series type stuff.
Let's do it. So, guys, we have a new format for the MLB. They're going to 16 teams. And this first round will be best of 3 series. Overall, what's your thought on the new format, Chuck?
I'm not too big of a fan of it. I do like it in a shortened season because of the pandemic and everything. But over 162 games, I think it takes away from the regular season because all you got to do is just finish in second place in your division and then you're in the playoffs. If you look at teams like the Astros and the Brewers, they were 2 games under 500 and now they're in the playoffs, and that kind of bothers me. And I hate when it happens in football when like a 7-9 team makes the postseason. So I wouldn't like it over the course of 162 games. I do like the 5 teams, the 1-game wild card. I think that's great. It brings excitement to the sport for an evening. But I don't like the 16 teams in a 30-team league.
So basically, it's the top 8 teams from each from the NL and the AL who qualify, correct?
Well, it's the top 2 teams in each division, and then the 2 teams left over that have the best record.
Okay, and is this permanent or is this just for the pandemic, what we're dealing with right now?
I think it's just for this season.
Okay.
Thank God.
Okay. TK, what are your thoughts on the new format? Do you like it, hate it, or you say that again? I didn't hear you.
Very similar to very similar to what Charlie just said. For this season, yeah, it's okay. But you look at all the teams making moves at the trade deadline now. It was a lot of mediocre teams kind of sacrificing even more of their future just to get in the playoffs this year. And what you're basically doing is you're saying it's okay to come in second place in your division. And I don't think we should devalue the division championship. I think 5 teams is okay because then even looking at the 5th team, they're, between 88 and 92 wins. That's still a solid baseball club. Now you got teams coming in, right at the Mendoza line, or even teams like the Brewers that are below 500. When you have a season that's 162 games, you really want to make that season mean something. So you really want to make, last time, if you look at 1993, the last time there was no wild card team, the 102-win San Francisco Giants, 102 or 103, missed the playoffs because there was a team that was one game better in the win column than them. So I think you should keep the wild cards, but you can't go too far. You can't make this like basketball where all of a sudden you're seeing pitchers only start maybe 20, 25 games a season because of load management. So I think you really want to make the playoffs something that's hard to get to in baseball with this marathon season.
Jack, what are your thoughts overall on the new format? Do you love it or do you hate it?
This would really be terrible if this was an ESPN show because everyone's pretty much agreeing. But what I will say is I completely agree. I think having 16 teams really waters down the postseason. It takes the excitement away. I think for this season it's fine because there's a 60-game year and we'll see some good teams miss the playoffs. We also kind of see like not to put some teams on blast, but we saw some pretty mediocre teams make the postseason this year. I think the 3-game wild card is going to be interesting, but overall, this can't be happening. This can't be happening moving forward. It can't be like basketball. And in terms of baseball itself, we're making it easier for the batters. I feel like juice balls are not. The game is easier. The game is catered towards hitting and long balls, and it's not catered towards pitching anymore. Now we're going to expand the postseason and make more than half the league get in. It doesn't work for me. It's fine this year. I understand not to call this year a gimmick, but this year, we've had a lot of unforeseen challenges. I do think, shout out to baseball, I feel like they adapted pretty well. It would have been nice to get a season going earlier. In terms of the postseason bracket, I'm okay for this year moving forward. I don't love it.
Listen, with this year, 2020 left, and we have about 3 months left in it, are we really surprised at different things we're getting? We got the NBA players in the bubble. We got the NFL with no fans, and they can't swap jerseys. Now we have the MLB expanding their playoffs. Nothing surprises me anymore in sports, especially with 2020. So I guess you just take it with the punches. So let's see how this format works. You may be surprised. You guys may end up liking it. You never know.
I do think, sorry not to cut you off, but quickly, I do think it's one thing that the MLB did that was really good was the wild card series is going to be played at the home ballparks. I think that's great because there's no sense of creating a bubble if the team's going to be in there for 3 games at most.
Yeah, right.
So I think they did good with that.
So let's start off with the NL. You guys just give me quickly your predictions, who you have coming out of this 3-game series to start off in the first round, quote unquote, we'd like to call it. The Dodgers versus the Brewers in the 1-8 matchup. TK, who you have here?
Easy pick. I picked the Dodgers. Dodgers are 43-17. Brewers, the team I mentioned, they're below 500. Dodgers going in real strong, 8-2 over the last 10. They're 21-9 at home. The Brewers are just about 500, a little below away. They've been 500 the last 10 games. I call this easy 2-game sweep for the Dodgers.
Chuck, what do you think here?
I'm going to have to agree with Tom. I'm going to say Dodgers as well. They finished with a 600 winning percentage or better again, which is like for the 8th straight season or something, some ridiculous number. They're arguably the best team in baseball. They added, Mookie Betts. They have Buehler, Kershaw, just phenomenal pitching. Tony Gosselin is another guy who's pitched well for them, a rookie. Bullpen's lights out. Brusdar Graterol, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but he throws 102. You got Kenley Jansen on the back end. I think the Dodgers are the team to beat in the NL, and they should handle the Brewers easily, especially considering the Brewers threw their ace on Sunday just to make it into the postseason. So I don't even know who they're going to start game 1. Their number 2 starter, Corbin Burns, just got hurt. So the Brewers are lacking in the starting pitching department, and they haven't been really good offensively. Christian Yelich had a bad year, so I think the Dodgers should handle the Brewers with ease.
All right. Declan, do we make it a clean sweep here?
Unfortunately, we're going to have to. They got Buehler's day off and Kershaw reviving his career in this 60-game year. It's 1-2 punch, kind of as good as anybody right now. It's Dodgers, nothing to see here.
All right. So the winner of that series, you guys got the Dodgers advancing. They would play the 4-5 matchup. It's similar to the NBA. The 1-8 plays the 4-5 in the next round. So you'd have St. Louis against the Padres in the 4-5 matchup. Chuck, who you have here?
I'm going to take the Padres. I think they're a terrific story considering the players that they had on their team early on. You had Fernando Tatis, swing 3-0 and hit a grand slam, and, the Texas Rangers got upset. And I think that kind of ignited the fire in that team. They looked really good. Manny Machado had a big bounce back year. They traded for Trent Grisham, who had that blunder in the playoffs last year for the Brewers. He's been phenomenal in center field. I do worry about Mike Clevinger. There's a chance he may come back for this series. He got a cortisone shot the other day. I think they really need him. They got the Nelson Lamet, who looked terrific all year. I really like the Padres. And for the Cardinals, not to say I don't like them, I'm just worried about them because they've had so many games, in the past because of coronavirus, and they missed like 2 weeks of baseball, so they had to fill in and whatnot. So they could roll Flaherty out game 1, but then their rotation is kind of shaky after, and I do worry about their offense. It's kind of bleak after Paul Goldschmidt. So I'm going to take the Padres.
Declan, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, going to be tough. I do think it'll go to 3 games. I think that they might steal one with Flaherty. But yeah, the Clevinger-Lamet thing, obviously we know the Padres hitting is good, but the Clevinger-Lamet really made me strongly reconsider thinking about taking the Cardinals. But I do think they'll steal a game. Chris Paddock kind of had a bit of a sophomore slump on the mound. He's their number 3 starter right now, it looks like. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Padres, but I think it'll be closer than everyone thinks.
TK, clean sweep here?
Clean sweep, Padres. They the pitching is pretty similar. They're only .04 away in ERA. Cardinals have 3.9, Padres 3.86 team ERA. But where they differentiate is that the Cardinals are 22nd in the league in hitting. Padres are much better, so give me the Padres in another 2-game sweep.
Okay, in the 2-7 matchup, we have the Braves versus the Reds. TK, let me start with you. What do you think here?
I think the Braves will definitely win this encounter with the Reds. It'll be a 3-game series, but the Braves are one of the best hitting teams. They have the second best team average in the NL. They are top of their division. The Reds, a little more of a 500 team. Trevor Bauer will go out there, pitch a good game, maybe win them a game there, but I think the other two will go to the Braves.
Chuck, what are your thoughts here?
I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to take Cincinnati in the upset. And I say this because the Braves rotation has been up and down all season. I think they only got 2 reliable stars, if that, and their second reliable star is a rookie who has only had a couple starts under his belt in Ian Anderson. I think the Reds could roll out Trevor Bauer game 1, hit them with Sonny Gray in game 2, or Luis Castillo, and then the other option will go in a possible game 3. The thing that worries me most about the Reds is their bullpen, but the Braves bullpen hasn't been lights out either. So I think the best way to kind of limit the Braves' potent offense is with starting pitching. I think the Reds have that. I think the Reds could pull the upset.
Declan, break the split here on the hit list congregation, on the hit list panel. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to agree with Charlie on this one. I had the Reds in this one. Good pitching typically beats good hitting. I do think the Braves have a lethal lineup in Acuna and Freeman. However, I'm gonna have to go with the Reds. They got a 3-headed monster in Trevor Bauer, Sonny Gray, Luis Castillo, 2 of which Charlie miraculously had on his fantasy team this year. Overall, I'm not in love with the Reds hitting, but they do have Castellanos and Moustakas, also who Charlie had on his fantasy team this year. So I guess that pick really shouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I like the Reds in this one. Bullpens kind of evenly matched, both on the bottom end, in my opinion. But yeah, Ian Anderson has been pretty good for the Braves, but he is a rookie. Braves pitching hasn't been great. It's been a little bit up and down. Good pitching beats good hitting, like I said. It's going to be a 3-game set for sure, but I'm going to go with the Reds slightly over the Braves.
In the 3-6 matchup, we have the Marlins sneaking into the playoffs for the first time since 2003 versus the Chicago Cubs. Who we taking here? TK.
I'm taking the Cubs. Cubs, top of their division. They have some absolutely filthy pitching on their side. The Marlins, a great story to get in, but they just don't have what the Cubs have. The Cubs can throw Jeremy Jeffress at you. He's got a 1.54 ERA. He's 4-1 on the season. He's great out of the bullpen. And then to start the game, they have Kyle Hendricks, 2.88 ERA, 64 strikeouts on the season. He's been very, very good. The Cubs have the pitching. They'll be playing at home. The Marlins, like I said, a good scrappy team, but hey, anything can happen in a 3-game series, but I'm still taking the Cubs.
Chuck?
Listen, I want to give a big shout out to Don Mattingly, one of the best managers in baseball. He took a team that had almost more than half the roster that came down with coronavirus earlier in the season, and he willed this team to a playoff spot. Tremendous job to him. But I do think they will come up short in this first-round matchup against the Cubs simply because the Cubs are the veteran team. The Marlins are a nice story. The Cubs have been there before. They mainly have their core from the 2016 World Series championship. And like Tom said, they're going to throw Kyle Hendricks out there. They're going to throw Yu Darvish, who could win the NL Cy Young. So I think the Cubs just have the Marlins beat in starting pitching and on offense. So I'm going to take the Cubs.
All right. And Declan, what do you think here?
I'm going to actually go away from that. I'm going to go with the Marlins. I think it's going to be a very close matchup. I might be crazy for doing this, but I don't really feel like betting against Don Mattingly and Derek Jeter. I liked what I saw in the matchups against the Yankees. I think they are completely short on talent compared to the Cubs. However, Javi Baez hasn't had a great year. Chris Bryant has had a very down year, although he had a couple home runs over the weekend. So hopefully he's heating up for the Cubs' sake. But I'm going to go with the Marlins in a 3-game set. Cubs pitching's great. I just think the Marlins have heart and they have a little bit more drive, and I think they've overcome a lot this year. And I think I could see them going. Actually, I could definitely see them making it to the division series.
All right, so let's move along to the American League here. In the 1-8 matchup, we have the Rays versus the Blue Jays. Chuck?
Well, before the season started, I said the team that I was most scared of in the AL for the Yankees was the Tampa Bay Rays, and they went out there and proved it. They are a very deep team. They produce pitching just like the Cleveland Indians. It seems as everybody that comes up for them throws strikes and gets outs, and that's what you definitely need. They should take care of Toronto easily. Toronto has a bright future, but it's not their time yet. I think Tampa could make a run to the World Series, and I think it starts with an easy series win over the Blue Jays.
TK?
Completely agree. I mean, Blue Jays and the Rays are in the same division. The Rays have seen a lot of the Blue Jays. The Rays have won the series over the season against the Blue Jays. The Rays are 8-2 in their last 10. They're 20-9 at home. They won 40 games. The only team, I believe, in the AL to win 40 games or even get close to 40 games was the Blue Jays. I think the Yankees were at like 33, so they just ran away with the division. Not the Blue Jays, I mean the Rays. You know what I mean. Rays win.
Deck, clean sweep here?
Yeah, I'm going to have to make it a clean sweep. I guess they have a stable of horses, so I'm going to have to go with the Rays on that one.
Okay, let's go along to the 4-5 matchup. We have the Indians versus the Yankees. We know how that matchup is in the playoffs. The Yankees seem to always have the Indians' number. Chuck, what are your thoughts here?
To say that I'm sweating out the series is an understatement. The one team I didn't want to play in the first round, especially in the best of three, is the Indians, considering they're going to throw Bieber, Plesac, and Carrasco at you. And I don't know what to make of the Yankees. They've been a hot and cold team all season. They started out hot, went on a cold run, came back, and they got guys healthy, started to heat up again, but they finished the season so poorly. I think the one problem for the Yankees is hitting with runs in scoring position, and I want to see how they do, especially against the big horses for the Indians. I'm very worried about the Yankees, and that's why I'm going to take the Indians in three, considering if it does go to a game three, it'll be Plesac or Carrasco against somebody like J Happ. But he has pitched well down stretch, but I don't know if I could trust J Happ in a do-or-die game three.
Let me tell you something. Listen, a lot of hitless contributors in other sports have picked against their teams, and their teams end up winning. So is this a ploy to kind of psycho mind game in the hit list that you're doing right here, Chuck?
Is it an RJ reverse jinx? Maybe, but I think I just call it as I see it. I mean, I'm terrified of the Indians. Their offense isn't as potent as it was, the past couple of years, but they have hell of a good pitching staff, and it worries me considering the Yankees' bats have been cold, especially coming down the stretch.
Fair. Declan, what are your thoughts here? Do you agree with Chuck? Are you going with the Indians or you got the Yanks?
I agree with him in that it's terrifying because I think that as a Yankee fan, this is going to be one of the more scarier series that we'll see in a while. I do have the Yankees in a 3-game series. However, Shane Bieber, Garrett Cole, that's a wash. The idea that Garrett Cole was going to come into the playoffs, like everyone heard back when they signed him in January, that he's going to come into the playoffs or December, whatever it was. He's going to come into the playoffs. He's going to be a sure advantage for the Yankees. That went out the window the second Shane Bieber, no relation to Justin, came in and started balling, possibly an AL MVP candidate, AL MVP winner possibly for the Cleveland Indians from the starting pitcher spot. Zach Plesac's great. I had him as my rookie of the year. Well, not rookie of the year because I'm not sure if he qualifies, but I had my breakout pitcher of the year on the young side. J Happ, that could be a disadvantage. However, I like the Yankees bats more. We've seen them do good against a playoff team in the Blue Jays. We've seen them come alive. I think they can come alive in October, and they could steal 2 games in a 3-game set. I feel like they're going to lose game 1, but I think they can win 2 and 3. Carl, I know you said that they have great history against the Indians. However, every time I think of the Indians in the postseason, I think of Jabba and those midges, even though I was 5 years old.
I remember those years. Yeah.
Late September is midge season, according to Sweeney Murdy. So I'm a little bit scared, but I think it's going to be a close matchup, evenly fought. It's going to be some great baseball in early October, late September. So I'm going to go with the Yankees.
That was around 2007, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was 7.
Yeah. TK, what are your thoughts here with this one?
Just going to echo pretty much what the other guys have said. You look at the Cleveland Indians, you look at Shane Bieber, Zach Plesac, Savali, Carrasco. I mean, they have a ton of starting pitching they can throw out. Shane Bieber really making a name for himself, 122 strikeouts, 14.2 strikeouts per 9 inning. He's going to walk away with the Cy Young, easy peasy. You look at the
Lemon
bullpen.
squeezy. Go ahead, T.
Squeeze, that's right, Carl. You look at the bullpens, it's pretty easy. Zach Britton, Brad Hand, both had solid seasons. Cleveland maybe a little deeper with James Karnichak and Cal Quantrill, who can come out and give you a lot of innings in case one of the starters doesn't go well. So with the Yankees kind of being up and down, and with Terry Francona, can't forget how good of a manager he is, I'm going to take the Cleveland Indians in a very tight 3-game series.
All right, moving along to the 3-6 matchup, we have the Twins versus the Astros. Chuck, who you have here?
I don't care if the Astros were the best team on earth. Let's go Twins. It's time for the Astros to finally get their doors kicked in for all that they did the past couple of years.
Are you still bitter about your Yankees not making? Is this what this is about?
I think I have to be bitter considering they cheated against my team. I don't know if I would be as bitter as Dodger fans because, they got the short end of the stick in the World Series, but I'm definitely bitter. I hated everything about them. They ruined the integrity of the game with what they did. But I hope the Twins sweep them in 2 games, which is so weird to say. But I hope the Twins blow them out by like 10-plus runs both games. Honestly, if I wasn't so mad about the Astros, I would still take the Twins, considering the Astros have like 0 starting pitching once Verlander went down. Their hitting has been abysmal all year. Everybody's averages went down. Jose Altuve finished the season batting like 213 or something. Their bullpen stinks as well, and I just think the Twins finally have a couple of decent stars in their rotation. They have a solid lineup headlined by Nelson Cruz, who is 40 but plays like he's 25. And I like the Twins and 2.
TK, do you agree here? Do you have the Twins?
I do agree. I mean, just look. I mean, I know I took the Twins last year and got burned by it. I don't know who remembers that. Twins Yankees. But I'm taking the Twins against this year. The Twins have the best home record. The Astros have the worst away record. And then you just look at the Twins. Just look at their pitching staff and their bullpen. It's so deep. Tyler Duffy, Tyler Clippard, Matt Weisler, Jorge Alaka. But you look at these guys. I'm not reading his name right. But you look at these guys, you look at their numbers, they have a great bullpen. Like you said, Nelson Cruz, 40, but playing like he's 25. The Astros don't have anyone to bang a trash bag for him, so I'm going with the Twins.
Declan, clean sweep?
I got to make it a clean sweep. It's no surprise that Chuck picked the Twins, considering his fantasy baseball team name is Bang Bang Cheating Gang. And Chuck knows it better than anybody else that I love Jose Barrios, and he's going to show out in this series. Twins offense is great. And I'll get to the Astros pretty quickly. Jose Altuve hit 215. This was as of last week. Yuli Gurriel hit, I believe it was, 240. Springer, 258. He's a free agent this year. This core can be broken up. I heard Greg Amsinger on MLB Network yesterday say this could be an end of an era. I don't know what era that was, but it was an era of nothing and cheating and banging trash cans. I'm going with the Twins. Maybe we're all emotional. Maybe we're not, but Twins with those new powder blues in 3 games. I'll give them 3.
Listen, I have Greg Polius in my ear right now screaming emotional. I can hear him just saying that as he watches this right now. So just giving you a heads up. I know him verbatim, and he's going to scream that word, but it is neither here nor there. We move on to the final matchup here, the Athletics, the A's versus the White Sox in their 2-7 matchup. Declan, who you have?
I got the A's in this one. I think that the White Sox are the hot new team that everyone's going to keep their eye on. And I don't think that they're a bad team at all. I think they're a solid postseason team. However, I think they're 1 year too early. They remind me of the LA Rams in 2018. I think next year is going to be their year. Right now, I like the A's. I think they have a solid offense, decent pitching. Not the sexiest pick for a 2 seed, but they earn the respect. And I got the A's in 3.
Chuck?
I'm going to take the upset here. I don't like how the White Sox finished down the stretch, but when you could give Lucas Giolito, who threw a no-hitter this year, the ball in Game 1, and then follow that up with Dallas Keuchel, the crafty veteran, in a Game 2, I really do like the White Sox chances. Their bullpen is a little shaky, but they just called up a rookie that they drafted, like 4 months ago, who's coming out of the pen throwing 102. That's going to be a big plus for them. And all they really need is for their lineup around Jose Abreu to wake up. If Tim Anderson could start getting on base, if Luis Robert could find his form that he had in the end of July, early August, I think the White Sox really put it together. And I think the loss of Max Chapman is really going to hurt the A's. I think he is their energizer bunny, to say the least. I think he brings that energy in the clubhouse. And not having him, especially at third base, that's a big disadvantage for their defense. And I think we're going to see that happen in the postseason. So I'm going to take the White Sox in 3.
TK.
Yeah, this one's you look at the last 10 games, the White Sox have lost 8 of the last 10 games. The Athletics are 22-10 at home. Athletics have a great bullpen, but still there's something about the White Sox that's going to make me pick the upset here. So I'm going to pick the White Sox. They did have Giolito throw his no-hitter, and there's just a sense of magic, sense of camaraderie about that team where in a 3-game series we only need to win 2 games, and the Athletics don't have the best starting pitching. And, the White Sox have an experienced guy like Dallas Keuchel who's been there before. Give me the White Sox in 3.
All right, gentlemen, that'll do it here for the first round matchups. I'm sure later down the line we'll be breaking down the other series as they come along, either on the live or maybe a pre-tape show. Thank you for taking time out to join me here. Deck, thank you for being prepared, man. You know what I say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. The man comes in bad. Yeah, my 5 Ps. The man comes in late and he has all his things ready to go. So always being prepared and available. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to all the Sports Hit List content. What's up, TK? You gonna say something, TK?
No, I'll let you finish your outro. Sorry,
no, go ahead. Go for it. Go ahead. It's okay.
Oh, I just want to give anyone brave enough to give an early World Series prediction. See how we do at the end. I'm going mine anyway. I'm giving mine anyway. Dodgers, Indians.
I know.
TK put everybody on the spot. You got to do it. Let's go, Deck.
Go ahead, Chuck.
I know I picked the Yankees to lose, but give me Yankees Dodgers. The World Series is everybody wants.
Deck?
Yeah, I'll go with the Yankees Dodgers. Why not?
Does that mean I have to make a pick? I don't know.
I'll have a better answer in a week.
In a week, you'll have a better answer?
Yeah,
after the games are played. I don't know about that one, but we'll see.
Okay. If I had to do outlandish, you guys are going to call me crazy.
The Red Sox aren't in the playoffs, just so you know.
No, I'm not going to say that. No, I'm going to go Rays.
It's a good pick.
And the Braves. Rays and the Braves.
Wow.
That's a pick, Carl.
Yeah, that's a pick.
I wanted to go with the Twins again, but I picked the Twins to make the World Series last year. They made me look like an idiot, so, let's go Indians.
So let me start the outro again. Anybody else before I go?
No, I'm good, Carl. I just wanted to get that in for the first round. I just wanted to get
that
in.
Good.
Thank you for joining us here on the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to all of our content. Make sure you check us out Wednesdays live exclusively on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and also on Sundays for NFL Kickoff. You can listen to Mr. Box Office Rant, how he's always wrong, 12:30 Eastern on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Thanks for joining us. Take care.